Chronicles of the Big Dog, episode 5. When I do these chronicles, what I try to do is keep people's names out of it. Just out of respect for them. Keep their names out of it and make sure that I tell the story. But if I do, only they know and the people who was around know about it. I think that's important because you don't want nobody to look bad over something, or, you know what I mean? Like, you don't name names. That's just the bottom line. I'm going to be a little contradictory because today I have to name names because this next experience, I have to give the name of the person to really just bring it home for you to understand where I'm coming from. I'm choosing this particular story because what it does is it taught me, that's a better way to put it, it taught me how people may view me without getting to understand me and get to know me. Well, it was winter break, 1983, as a matter of fact. Pitt was on winter break, Christmas break. And we got our grades, right? And I was a little worried about two of my classes because I wasn't able to juggle my job, which is basketball, and my part-time, both full-time jobs, school and basketball. I think I had 4 classes. I had 1A, 1B, and 2 C's. And I was upset about it. I really was. I was upset about the 2 C's because I knew that I could have done better had I, gotten more comfortable with my schedule and everything. Because it wasn't too demanding, but, I'm coming from high school. So all I had to do was just get up, go to school, and play basketball on Fridays, and that was it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But I was a little upset about the 2 C's. So I knew my mother and father would be upset about those 2 C's too, because they, in high school, I was taking college prep courses. So, I didn't get no lower than a B in a class. So I had a high expectation, even if it was college. So my coach, Coach Chipman, brought everyone in to talk about their report cards, or whatever you want to call them in college, but talk about their grades, right? And he called me in, and I sat down, and my expectation of him was like, he's gonna blast me out about them 2 C's, right? I'm sitting there and I'm looking, and he's like, yeah, I'm looking at it, and I see the A, I see the B, because Coach Shipman was a laid back dude, had a great personality, right? Had a great personality. So, I'm just going to go from there. But we were talking about my grades, and he said, and these 2 C's, my expectation, you got to do better, blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking it's going to be one of them kind of deals, right? And he really didn't say anything about the C's. And he said it, then I'm expecting him to say something. He didn't say anything. So as we were talking some more, he was like giving me high praise. Oh, this is a great job, and this and that. And I had this look on my face, a look of surprise, you know what I mean? And he said, well, what's wrong? I said, well, what's wrong, Keith? I looked at him, I said, well, I got 2 C's, Coach. I have a problem with that. He said, well, do you think the teachers gave you the wrong grade? I said, no, I earned the C's, I'll be honest with you. But I have a problem with myself because of the 2 C's. He said, Keith, don't you worry about that. As long as you stay eligible. as long as you stay eligible. Given, your circumstances, where you came from, this is great. I looked at him and I said, circumstances that I came from? I said, you didn't see my high school transcripts, coach? He said, yeah, I saw him. So this, I said, well, coach, this is why I have a problem with it. I'm going to do better. Basically, that's what I said to him. I'm going to do better. You know what I mean? He said, look, as long as you stay eligible, you're fine. Now, would you take that as something being racial? I don't know. At the time, I did. You know what I mean? Because I was a raw nerve when it came to that thing. Because my parents taught me about everything, about our community, what our community really was, and not the stereotypes. So I jumped to a conclusion. So I'm telling you this story because as I got older, and I met many Coach Chipmans in my life who judged me by my stature and my pigmentation, I realized something. I was angry, and some of them I jumped in and, jumped on their case about it and this, that, and the other. So it wasn't like I was being docile about it. But the thing about it is I had to come to a conclusion. I'm like, well, if you are conditioned to think this about a community your whole life, if you've been conditioned to think about this in a certain way, and when that person that you're dealing with exceed the garbage that you've been taught, it amazes you. It amazes you. And I had a problem with that for many, many years because I've always been a high achieving person no matter where I was. No, I didn't make the NBA. I had a chance to make the NFL without even playing any down of football in college. I had a chance. I think if I would have stuck with either one of them, I would at least went overseas to play basketball. And I probably, if I got with the right team, I could have brought back my old skills in high school. Who knows? I don't care. I really don't care about that because my goal was always to live. But the point I'm trying to make is never let someone's expectation of you be higher than what your expectation of you is. I don't believe in calling myself a proud man anymore. I don't like that. You know why? You look at me as being proud by my actions and what I say. I don't need to tell you about my pride. Look how I walk. Look how I stand. Look how I look at you. You see it. I don't need to tell you that I'm an intelligent human being. You know why? Because if you take the time to listen to what I'm saying to you, you know that I am. Just like I don't need to tell you that I'll beat your ass if you make me do it. Just pay attention to the way I'm looking at you. Look at my body language. You see? I don't need to tell people what kind of person I am. And it was funny how much I called my parents and told them how much that bothered me that the coach looked at me and told me that I did great, and I really didn't. And my father said, well, Keith, does it matter whether or not he thinks you did great? Or does it matter that you feel you could do better? You see that pause? That's exactly what I did when my father said that to me on that phone that Saturday. I paused because there was something in those words that made me understand that every step that I make for the rest of my life, I have to have a high expectation of me. When somebody gets disappointed, I have to be the person that's the most disappointed. And I'm going to teach my sons the same thing. Raise your expectation of who you are. Raise your expectation of who you are. I'm 56 years old. And guess what? I still do it. Do me a favor. If you feel what I'm saying to you in these different videos, share it on your page. Because it's somebody that I might reach other than my friends. There's all respect with Coach Chipman. Because like I said, if he didn't have an expectation, then it didn't matter. Because he needed a body. And I could be depended on as far as Graves was concerned and on that court. So he never had to worry about me. And he knew that when, my 4 years there. He understood that about me. But I just wanted to share it. I hope it makes sense to you. Chronicles